Yo, what's good, Laker Nation? Listen, I need every single one of y'all to stop what you're doing right now because what I'm about to tell you is something that just happened in the press conference room at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, and I am still trying to process it. Because the Lakers just lost Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals to the Thunder, 108-90. And yeah, that score is ugly. Yeah, the Lakers looked outmatched for most of the game. Yeah, Chet Holmgren was a monster with 24 and 12. And yeah, the media is already writing the sweep narrative because OKC went 4-0 against the Lakers in the regular season. I know all of that. But what happened after the game? What LeBron James said sitting at that podium with his cap pulled low over his eyes, and that voice, that terrifying quiet voice that he gets when he's not angry, but something far worse than angry, what he said is going to change the entire trajectory of this series. Because LeBron didn't make excuses. He didn't talk about missing Luka. He didn't complain about Vanderbilt going down with an injury. He looked directly into the camera, directly at the millions of people watching, directly at Stephen A. Smith, who had spent the entire morning predicting a sweep, and he issued a warning that made every single person in that press conference room go completely silent. So let me take you through it. Hey, what's up everyone? Real quick before we get into everything, that like button is literally what determines if this reaches hundreds or thousands of fans. Takes 1 second, but makes a huge impact on the channel's growth. Just smash that like button right now. It's the easiest thing you can do, but honestly, the biggest way to support this content, every single like pushes this further, so hit it now. The context is critical here. The Los Angeles Lakers, the 4th seed in the West, just came off a grueling first-round series against the Houston Rockets that went 6 games. They closed it out on the road, 98-78, in a dominant Game 6 where LeBron was masterful. But the toll of that series was enormous. Luka Doncic has been out with a hamstring injury for over a month now. He hasn't played since before Game 5 against Houston. And tonight, to make matters worse, Jared Vanderbilt went down with an injury during the game, further depleting a roster that was already stretched thin. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma City Thunder are the #1 seed in the entire NBA. 64-15 in the regular season, the best offense and the best defense in the league. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP favorite. Chet Holmgren, who leads the league in blocks. Jalen Williams, the best second option in basketball. This team is a machine. And they went 4-0 against the Lakers in the regular season, which means the national media has been treating this series like a formality since the matchup was set. Stephen A. Smith went on First Take this morning and said, and I quote, that the Lakers' time is up and that they're too old and too slow to run with these kids. He predicted a sweep, 4 games, done, over, Lakers eliminated, and the rest of the media largely agreed. This was supposed to be a coronation for the Thunder, not a competitive series, and for 48 minutes tonight, it looked like the media might be right. The Thunder were dominant, their defense was suffocating, SGA controlled the pace. Chet altered everything at the rim. The Lakers scored 90 points, their lowest playoff total since 2021. It was a rough, ugly, demoralizing loss. And when the final buzzer sounded and LeBron walked off the court toward the tunnel, you could see the frustration on his face. Not defeat, frustration. The frustration of a man who knows his team is better than what they showed, but couldn't find the formula to prove it tonight. The press conference started about 30 minutes after the game. LeBron walked in wearing a simple black outfit, cap low, and sat down at the podium. The first question was standard, something about the defensive adjustments OKC made and how the Lakers planned to counter. And LeBron gave a normal answer, talked about studying the film, mentioned that the Thunder's length was problematic, said the team needed to be better in transition, standard stuff. But then the second question came, and it was the match that lit the fuse. A reporter asked, LeBron, Stephen A. Smith predicted a sweep this morning. The Thunder went 4-0 against you in the regular season. Is there a real path for this team to win this series without Luka? And LeBron's entire demeanor changed. He had been leaning back in his chair, relaxed, giving measured answers. But when that question landed, he sat up, straight. His hands came off the table and folded in front of him. His chin tilted down slightly, so he was looking at the reporter from under the brim of his cap, and the temperature in that room dropped about 10 degrees. Stephen A., LeBron said, not to the reporter, to the camera. I heard what you said this morning on First Take. I heard every word. You said our time is up. You said we're too old to run with these kids. You said the sweep was coming. He paused, leaned closer to the microphone. Look into my eyes. Game 1 was the first round of a 12-round fight. That's all it was, the first round. And in boxing, you know what the smart fighters do in the first round? They study, they observe, they take punches to learn the other fighter's patterns. Tonight was the first round, and I learned everything I needed to learn about the Oklahoma City Thunder. The room was dead silent, not a single pen moved, not a single keyboard clicked. Every reporter was locked in because they could feel that LeBron was building to something, and he delivered. You want to know what I learned tonight? I learned that Chet Holmgren is special, 24 and 12. That kid is a problem. He moves like a guard in a 7-footer's body, and he changes every shot at the rim. I respect that. I learned that SGA is everything people say he is. Efficient, calm, in complete control. I respect that too. And I learned that this Thunder team is good. Really good. Maybe the best team in basketball right now. I'm not gonna stand here and pretend otherwise. He paused again, but I also learned something else. I learned that they're not invincible. I learned that in the third quarter, when we went on a 12-2 run, their young guys got tight. Their body language changed. They started rushing. I learned that when Austin Reeves gets going in the pick and roll, their switching scheme has holes. I learned that Marcus Smart can make SGA uncomfortable when he picks up full court. I learned that DeAndre Ayton can get position on Chet in the post if we're patient enough to work the ball inside. I learned all of that in one game, and now I have film. And when LeBron James has film, adjustments happen. Then he addressed the series narrative directly, and this is where his voice went from calm to something that I can only describe as threatening in the most sophisticated way possible. He said, "The media loves a good story, and right now, the story they want to tell is the passing of the torch. The young Thunder dethroning the old king, the future conquering the past. It's a great narrative, it sells, it gets clicks, it makes for good television. There's just one problem with it." Another pause. His eyes narrowed. "The king decides when the torch gets passed. Not Stephen A. Smith, not the Thunder, not the media. Me, and I haven't decided yet. I'm 41 years old. I've played in 10 finals, I've won 4 championships, I've seen dynasties rise, and I've watched them crumble. I've been counted out more times than I can count, and every single time I've responded. So before anybody books the Thunder for the conference finals, before anybody starts planning the parade in Oklahoma City, I'd suggest they remember who they're dealing with." Then he got specific about the Game 2 adjustments, and this is where the basketball genius came through. He said, "We scored 90 tonight. That's not acceptable, but let me tell you why it happened and why it won't happen again. We settled for too many jumpers in the first half. The Thunder's length and their defensive rotation speed intimidated us into taking long twos and contested threes instead of attacking the paint. That stops in Game 2. I'm going to attack. Austin is going to attack. We're going to get to the rim, we're going to get to the free throw line, and we're going to make Chet Holmgren defend in space instead of protecting the rim. Because as good as Chet is, and he is good, when you pull him away from the basket and make him guard in the open floor, the rim is exposed. And that's where we live. JJ Redick knows this. We talked about it in the locker room. The game plan for Game 2 is already forming in my head, and I can tell you this, it looks nothing like what the Thunder saw tonight. He addressed the injuries with a dismissiveness that bordered on defiant. People keep talking about Luka. Without Luka, you can't win. I've heard it for a month straight. We closed out Houston without Luka. We won by 20 on the road without Luka. And when Luka comes back, and he will come back, this team goes to another level entirely. But in the meantime, I refuse to use his absence as an excuse. We have Austin Reeves, who proved against Houston that he can be a number 2 option in the playoffs. We have Marcus Smart, who is a defensive weapon that nobody in this league wants to face. We have DeAndre Ayton, who is playing the best basketball of his career. We have JJ Redick, who is one of the smartest coaches in the NBA. We are not helpless without Luka. We are different without Luka. But different doesn't mean worse. It means we have to be smarter, more disciplined, more connected, and that's what Game 2 is going to look like. And then the closing, the part that's going to be on every sports show tomorrow morning. LeBron stood up from the podium, which he almost never does before the Q&A is finished, walked to the edge of the stage, and looked directly into the main ESPN camera. I want to say something to Laker Nation. I know tonight was tough to watch. I know the score was ugly. I know the media is going to spend the next 48 hours telling you that the series is over, that the sweep is inevitable, that your team is done. Don't listen to them. I've been here before. I was down 3-1 against the greatest regular season team in NBA history, and I came back. I've been in situations that looked impossible and found a way. This series is not over. It's barely started. And the man standing in front of you right now at 41 years old with 40,000 career points and 4 championship rings is telling you, promising you that we are going to make this a series. I don't know if we're going to win it. I can't guarantee that, but I can guarantee that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to have to earn every single victory. They are going to have to fight for every game. They are going to have to go through LeBron James, and going through LeBron James, even at 41, is still the hardest thing in basketball. He walked off the podium, didn't take another question. Just those words echoing through the press room in Oklahoma City, while the Thunder's celebration could still be heard through the walls. And I'm sitting here thinking about every single time LeBron James has been counted out and what happened next. The 2012 Heat after the Dallas loss. The 2016 Cavaliers down 3-1. The 2020 Lakers in the bubble. Every single time the world said LeBron was done, he responded with something historic. And the look on his face tonight, the sound of his voice, the deliberate way he stood up from that podium and delivered his message, that tells me something is coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the Lakers can actually beat the Thunder in a 7-game series, but I know this: LeBron James is not going quietly. And that alone should keep Oklahoma City up at night. He started walking toward the locker room, then turned back one final time. One more thing to Laker Nation. I know tonight was tough. I know the score was bad, but let me tell you what I saw in that locker room after the game. I didn't see guys with their heads down. I didn't see defeat. I saw anger. I saw focus. I saw a team that is pissed off about how they played and is ready to channel that anger into Game 2. And when this team plays angry, when we play with a chip on our shoulder, we are dangerous. So everybody who's writing us off, everybody who's predicting the sweep, everybody who thinks the Lakers are done, keep that same energy on Thursday night. Because if we win Game 2, and we are going to win Game 2, I don't want to hear any backtracking. I don't want to hear any, well, actually, the Lakers are better than we thought. Keep the same energy, because we remember everything. And we use all of it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is LeBron right that Game 1 was just the first round? Can the Lakers make adjustments? Hit subscribe, smash the bell. Game 2 is coming, and I'll be right here. Peace.